Prank the cameraman.
We could prank the cameraman. The cameraman's just looking at us.
Maybe he's being pranked right now.
Yeah.
We're not actually renting this place.
Yeah, maybe you're just wasting your time here. And this is not actually even our time. We're not even supposed to be here. We're just like three random people walked into this.
Straight out of the mental asylum.
It's alright.
Or are you going to get paid?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you? Are you now? Alright, so welcome to another episode of Following the Cast. I'm Brian.
I'm Lindsay.
I'm Annie.
And today we have a very special episode because our usual partner, Tyler, is currently too busy studying, because study is important. Apparently, he doesn't take his job seriously enough, but it's okay. We'll fire him later. In the meantime, Annie's going to replace him. So...
and she's not even...
She's not. She is.
Very soon.
Annie's just going to be like a one-time guest.
Yeah. I'm leaving in 1.5 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go to Chicago, right?
Yeah, I go to school in Chicago.
Good. Because a lot of
dedication, man.
a lot of our news today has to do a lot about the U.S. Again, it's like it's the States again. I couldn't find any
always the States.
Interesting news.
Always.
Like in Europe or anywhere else in Asia.
Europeans are too.
Despite like the billions of people living on the other side of the continent, Americans seems to be doing quite well for themselves. All right, Yippee-ki-yay, let's go. So for the news segment...
Sorry.
For the news segment... oh, God. Yeah, so for the news segment, there is a recent legislation in Berkeley where there is going to be free marijuana being distributed to low-income families. And again, this is in New Berkeley. And
New Berkeley?
New Berkeley. Oh, I'm sorry.
New Berkeley?
It's actually still Berkeley.
Okay.
Wait, the school or the city?
The city.
Hope not the school.
Oh, okay.
The entire... It's actually like college town, essentially, is what it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apparently what they want to do is the council would like to distribute free marijuana to low-income families. And that's just so weird.
Very interesting.
So, of course, there are a lot of people opposed to this idea because the idea is like you're giving marijuana. You're basically giving free drugs to people who don't necessarily need them, but just so the low income will stay in a low income position.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really understand how far along the process is this kind of plan? Is it just like a proposal or are they going to do it?
They're already doing it.
Really?
Yeah, so for the marijuana dispensers, they're supposed to allocate 2% of their supply to low-income families.
So what is their purpose?
What's the criteria for you to get it? Like, do you have to have a condition or do you just like, my income is below this, please give me some weed so I can forget about how poor I am?
It's completely based on income. You don't need a medical condition because if you have a medical condition, you do it through a different process. But essentially, what happens is that if you have an income of U.S. dollars, $32,000 in a God damn it, yada yada yada. We'll edit this. That's why the power of editing. So apparently, if you are a single, what am I doing? All right. So, if you live in a single household just by yourself and you make $32,000 or less, you would be entitled to free marijuana. If you have a family of 4 and you make less than $46,000 a year, then again, same criteria. So, it actually has nothing to do with physical illness. It has more of, if you are poor, here's free marijuana, get high.
How is that a good idea?
No idea. Okay, so according to the post here, it says that this is supposed to provide some kind of incentive for those who are struggling through tough times. So if you're feeling sad or down because you're making $36,000 or less, you could bring your way or you can motivate yourself to work harder, earn more money if you smoke marijuana first.
I don't think that incentive works in any way. Like, just like basic
That makes
economics.
no sense at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if you barely make it through the month of your salary, right?
Yeah.
And I get you're upset, you're depressed. So maybe depression itself could be a reason why you might want to take clinical or medical marijuana.
I'm so sorry.
But other than that, it's just a really dumb idea altogether. And a lot of people are saying that the pros and cons about marijuana is that, well, of course, if you're actually physically ill, suffering from cancer and all that,
Yeah.
medical marijuana can actually help you alleviate those symptoms or even make you feel better on those days. But the biggest con of all, especially here, and I will move away from this later, is that number one, a lot of people assume that medical marijuana not being distributed to people who are actually suffering from some kind of mental or physical illness is a form of abuse itself, especially on the government's part, because you're just being irresponsible. The second thing is, and I think this is our main focus, is that
Doesn't make sense.
it does not make any sense at all. And the better question is, people...
I really want to hear the rationale behind this, like some guy talking or giving a speech about why they have to legalize this. Like we must, yeah, this is something we must do. I really want to hear something like that.
The reason why they're even giving out this criteria of low-income family is just, it makes no sense at all. Like, there's no correlation between being poor and then, taking marijuana. I think it's just more of an excuse of introducing some kind of legislation that will eventually, where you can take marijuana as like over-the-counter medicine.
So like Colorado.
Pretty much. But even in Colorado, there are some criterias.
Right.
But I feel like they're sort of going so far with this that eventually in the future you can just go to a pharmacy and pick up things like Advil or aspirin or whatever over the counter, and it'll be completely okay.
All right. But do you think the opening up of the marijuana market is like a good thing?
It's a terrible thing because right off the bat, here's my assumption. Okay, you give me medical marijuana because I make less than $32,000 a year. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sell the marijuana on the streets, and that's how I'm gonna boost my income. And that itself is obviously the perfect loophole in the system, as long as I don't declare a tax.
Right.
I get free marijuana and I sell it on the streets.
The problem is their focus on the low-income groups, right? Like, why are they just focusing on the low-income groups? And it's not like an incentive for them to work harder because if I'm a bum who really wants to smoke marijuana, I'm not going to increase my income because you're just going to take my
free marijuana. I would not make more money
Yeah.
It's just,
at all.
Like, if you're already high, you're just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just life is so good.
for example, there is a very good chance of intensifying your reactions to certain objects.
So is that scientifically proven, or is that
Yes.
just like a...
So if you ever get high on marijuana and you sit on the couch and watch television, especially cartoons, you would almost feel like the cartoons just want to come out and grab your face. Some of you might feel a little bit paranoid, so you think the cartoons might want to eat it.
Yeah, paranoia.
Other
yeah.
people might experience these kinds of reactions because there are different kinds of stages through marijuana uses. Or not stages, different types of people. You have the paranoid type. You
Yeah.
have the...
Very happy time.
Yeah, the overly excited people, and then you have people who are just really hungry when you eat marijuana.
Or a
take marijuana.
combination of three. I've seen...
It's like those are like it's like the 5 stages of grief, but then just replace it with
3 stages of
marijuana.
marijuana.
It's like first stage paranoia, second stage is overly excited, and third stage
The munchies.
the munchies. God, you gotta love the munchies. Actually, to be honest with you, this particular news itself, the only reason why we introduced it today is because, God, can you imagine how much fun Hong Kong would be if marijuana was just legal for everybody? I mean, just imagine those hard-ass politics, right? High on marijuana, going on stage.
I think you need to give it to Beijing instead of Hong Kong.
No, you know what? We're pretty screwed ourselves. So might as well just give it to the
Smog
politicians.
of the whole city. Now it just
Oh,
smells
yeah,
bad
yeah.
as well.
That would be a great idea. We just have like a little marijuana plant, put it on the side, lit on fire like a little chimney, and you let it spread all over Hong Kong. It would be such a beautiful place.
I'm getting... We're gonna have to cut a lot of
We're gonna have
things
to cut a
today,
lot of
yeah.
things today. So we're doing pop culture segment, right?
So Annie, are you a YouTuber?
Iggy? Yes.
Iggy? Do you know any very popular pranking channels on YouTube?
I know the guy who goes like plays basketball up against a person.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like he pretends to be playing basketball and then runs up to the guy and he goes like dunk over your head.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wait, so it's just like a really tall guy just dunks
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's basically I go up to a 5-year-old and I
Yeah,
just
he's just like
dunk it right
he
above
starts
him.
trying to play basketball with you.
Continue on.
So we're gonna show a clip of one very particularly old prank back when pranks were not on YouTube but on TV.
Can I at least just...
No. It's I don't give you $100 for salivating. I give you $500 for throwing up on the sidewalk here. Let me know so I can get away from you, all right?
Yeah.
Take my arm off.
I don't feel... Oh, holy... Oh!
Oh my God. Oh, this is disgusting. That is the most Oh God.
Ipecac is basically is a substance that induces vomiting, and people just go around. They're sort of reliving this thing again in the 21st century. I have no idea why they do this, but apparently they go around and dare people to drink Ipecac, and they give you money when you do this. And all it really does, and it's a really simple black and white thing. I give you Ipecac, you drink it, I'll give you $300 if you do it, and if you do it, you start vomiting, and we capture it on tape. And then that's the whole thing.
There's another step. There's a whole nother level. I give you 500 more, and you lick up your own vomit.
Oh God. So, you see, before, pranks used to be funny. They used to be something like people enjoyed. But nowadays, I don't know why. But the pranks itself are sort of escalating.
And they're not even authentic anymore. There's actually open auditions for pranking.
The thing is, like just watching that, I don't know if it's like an Onion article or if it's actually real. It just sounds so ridiculous to be true. It's like the weed thing.
Ipecac. Okay, let me ask you this. If I gave you $500 to drink Ipecac, would you do it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
500 Hong Kong dollars?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna vomit afterwards. It's not like I'm gonna die, right?
What about
And
I
it's like
give you
$500.
1,000?
$1,000 to drink Ipecac and then lick it off the floor later.
How much?
A
Like
thousand.
how
USD.
much? Like how much? Like lick the whole thing.
Whole thing, yeah.
The whole thing. No, there's like germs on the floor.
Because that's the more important thing.
It's
There's
the germs, not your vomit.
Yeah, like gravel and stuff. It's not just your own vomit.
Like, let's say it's on a smooth kitchen floor.
I don't.
Your own kitchen floor.
I don't
You've
trust-
mopped it before.
I don't trust my kitchen floor. Yeah. Like not. It depends. Like if it's like this much vomit.
It's projectile. You just go. Brrr.
Maybe not.
And to be, you
But
can't
just
see it
so-
on this video, but I'm pretty sure there are like little food chunks on the floor as well.
Stop, please.
Chewy.
Please. Oh my god.
If you really want to go one level higher, you make the guy eat corn first, and then a couple of hours
Or like
later,
Chipotle or something.
and then you ask him to like drink Epicac.
Burritos, yeah.
Jeez, why would anyone do that?
But I guess people just like to see gross stuff or like bad things happen to other people, and it's humorous.
That's just sad.
Because it's not me.
Yeah.
Violent.
Remember when we were young, we would just prank people by just calling them and hang up? Did you ever?
I used to prank call the police.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
Because of course, back then, there was something called caller ID, right? I didn't know what caller ID was. So I thought, I have no idea how the telephone
They know
worked.
where you live.
I had no idea how the telephone
Find you.
I had
gonna
no idea how
kill
the
you.
telephone worked. So I thought, like, as soon as I call someone, they wouldn't be able to see the number, or like, if they know the number, they wouldn't be able to like track where you live. So what I would do is, I think I was like 7 or 8, and what I would do is I would call the cops, and then they would ask me what's wrong, and I would tell them about like this one time where I had a nightmare. And I told them about my nightmare, and then I says, "Okay, I have to go," and then I hanged up, and then. They called me back.
Oh.
They called me back. And then the cop asked to talk to my mom. And then my mom just like freaked out. And I kept doing it for like an entire week, where I would just keep calling the cop over and over again. And it would be like for the most mundane and stupidest thing anyone could ever call them for. Especially for an 8-year-old child. And eventually, I think the police department just got really annoyed by me. I mean, first it may start off cute, but when your 8-year-old starts calling you and asking you, like, is it possible to get a lift to school? I think.
I think you just needed someone to talk to. So, psychology major.
Okay, diagnose me right now.
Psychoanalyze him.
He's bored.
So,
All right.
story time.
Story.
I have a friend. So basically, he has 2 cousins. They're first cousins, right? So the blood relation is pretty damn tight. So what happened was, on a family vacation,
The 2 cousins had sex with each other.
They really?
They did.
Are they both like male or like?
no,
No.
one female and one male. And
Oh.
I think they were 13, 14 at the time.
So let's say this again. Cousins, 13
Your
and 14
cousins?
years old. No.
My friend. I only have one cousin.
Your friend is one of the cousins?
Yeah, he is. Like, there are
Oh.
3 cousins, and then the other 2, you know, did
Oh, no.
things.
So not your friend.
You cannot say that word.
Okay.
This editing is gonna be so much. No, we gotta tell them the full story. So how it started was they were in Japan for a family trip, and what happened was the 2 cousins was it like they met for the very first time?
No, they were like good friends,
they're
and
good
then
friends.
they started out with very very tame things like you know holding hands.
First of
Not-
all, that's
not that-
that's tame. That's not tame. They were holding
Like, compared
hands.
to what they did at the end,
holding hands in public
they
in
were
front
holding
of their parents.
hands and blowing kisses to each other, linking arms. So that was how it actually accelerated. And then one day, these kids they were watching adult films in a room, and then those 2 just started looking at each other, and they were like, "Okay, we're tired. We're gonna go sleep." So off they went into another room. So you can imagine what happened next.
So you see, here's the thing I don't understand. First of all, if you see your 13/14-year-old, you know, son or daughter holding hands with your cousin, blowing kisses to each other in front of you, why in God's name do you not do anything about that immediately?
well,
No,
afterwards,
are they a
they
Chinese
did.
family?
They are.
Because like Chinese parents are like, if they see something that they don't want to talk about, they're like
They
just like
avoid it?
yeah, they just like put up this shield. Just like
That-
I did not see that.
That's bad parenting. That's just so bad.
That's what my mom does.
Okay.
So like, okay, in a different scenario, if like
If I don't,
guy comes up to
acknowledge it,
you-
it doesn't exist.
if a guy comes up to you with a knife and like starts stabbing another person in front
Your
of you,
mom just goes,
he's like,
"Okay.
didn't see it,
I'm out.
didn't see it, I'm out.
No, not like that. But like with like your children, like the Chinese families with their children, it's like if your daughter does something like wears a like skirt too short, and then when they go tell their like mom friends at like when they go yamcao or something,
Oh,
they'll never
yeah.
talk about that. They'll be like, oh, my daughter is very guai, you know, she listens to me all the time, and you're just sitting there like, no, you're just like
Well,
ignoring,
your parents are certainly very different from mine. Mine just,
ignoring
like, keep
half
on-
of the truth.
Let me ask you, in the future, if you ever encounter this, like you were the parents of these 2,
incestuous cousins.
yeah, well, would you?
I'm the parent of both of them.
No, one of them. Let's just say one of them, okay? And let's say they hold arms, like just holding arms, like linking arms like this.
Okay,
Be okay with that?
depends on how old they are.
13, 14.
Yeah, so like puberty.
13, 14. I don't know.
Blowing kisses.
I don't know, really, because like it depends on your family. Like with my cousins, they were all females, like so it was like all girls just linking hands. It's okay, right?
But a boy and a girl.
I think if you're used to that in your family, like that kind of intimacy kind of thing.
Always
like
made
some
out.
families, like the brothers and sisters are really intimate, which is kind of creepy for other people to watch. But I guess it's their normal thing.
What about you and your brother?
What if I start linking hands with my? Well, my brother's young though. Like he's like only 10 years old. So
That's even worse.
no, I'm not blowing kisses to my 10-year-old brother. But what I'm saying, like, let's say if we have to cross like a really busy road, like of course I'm gonna hold his hand and make sure like he gets across the road.
But you don't usually, you know, like if you're on the couch watching a movie, you don't usually.
Why would you paint that image? But this is not your best friend. This is your sibling.
Yeah,
This is your
sibling could be
first
your best
cousin.
friend. What's wrong with your first cousin? Can be your friend.
Okay, so a few points we want to raise from this situation is it okay? Is incest okay if it's consensual?
Like to what extent of incest? Like how close is the incest?
Let's just say
Let's say, like-
first cousins.
I don't see a problem.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. What about you, Brian?
It's no, no. I'm sorry. A bit loud, but no!
But it is consensual.
Absolutely not!
Both parties want each other, and like they don't regret it at all.
Oh, God. Okay, so...
I don't think I care that much.
We got a badass over here.
How are you a psychology major?
That's why
It's because you're a psychology major.
Yeah.
It's like in the future, my kids can't take psychology because they're gonna end up like you. No, but so here's the thing. Apparently, there have been some studies that have shown like if you have siblings who were separated at birth and they were to meet one day when they're older, right? They would actually develop intimate relationships with each other, right? Yeah. But people theorize it's not because you have feelings for the other person in an intimate way, but it's because I don't know what it is.
DNA.
They can't exactly prove like because of two genes, you guys. Like, there's no way, like, if I see you from across the room, genes can't really explain the whole thing.
No, but you can smell their cell, not their cells, but, like, you know, we can smell each other. And apparently there's a theory, that people who have similar genes, DNAs, they attract each other.
No.
All right. I'm sorry.
You tried to push it out of your ass, just got thrown out.
I mean, maybe there are like studies showing everything, but then you can't ever prove anything with, like psychology and everything. You can just like there's more support for this and there's less support for that, and there's like other studies that are like, oh, if you have like immune genes that are very very different to mine, like as like the more different you are to me, the more sexually attractive I find your smell. So they got these guys, like the sweaty t-shirt experiment, and then they got these guys to wear these t-shirts for like 3 nights, and then they took them off and then put them in like separate boxes, and this woman would come over with like 7 boxes of sweaty, smelly t-shirts, disgusting. And then she would go like, and then I have to smell this, and then rate each t-shirt on its like sexiness, attractiveness, well-adjustedness, or something like that. And then they would find that the t-shirt they find the most attractive would have like the most different like immune genes from the woman.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like saying that, evolutionarily, then the children you have would have like the most robust immune system because you have a more different interaction. Science.
Science, rather than I smell.
So yeah, like I really like how my boyfriend smells.
Yeah? I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh, okay.
Is it wrong if I'm like sexually attracted to detergent?
Yeah, but then there's like...
Wait, what? Sexually attracted to detergent?
Detergent.
Women, they're more attracted to like men with similar genes in them because now they want their family members to help them with the kid when they're gonna have, you know. Yeah, help me, brother. Help me, brother.
Okay, so no, I don't think it's okay. Definitely, regardless, because you guys are siblings, right? The attraction you have for each other is just that. It's a sibling attraction. Like it's love in terms of family. Not in a sexual way.
God, family zone.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if it's like direct siblings, like my brother and me, I would just be like, no.
Thank God.
A lot of people shouldn't have kids. Like, you know, really immature people also shouldn't have kids.
Well,
but it's just
you know, the fact is, like, if a 13 and 14-year-old are having sex and they're cousins, you already know they shouldn't be having kids. Period. Ever. God, and you imagine that conversation later in the future about this?
So how did you lose your virginity?
Oh, to my cousin. My first cousin. He was nice. We went to the room. You want to know how it all... Oh, sure. So we were in Japan, and we're just holding hands in front of our parents, and we went back to our room and started watching porn. And then, you know, because it's puberty, let's take it back to our room and see what happens.
Hormones.
Yeah, you see...
Blame it all on the hormone. Even if people like Brian just refuses to accept that, what they're doing is not affecting your life, right? So does it make it okay? But now that it's out, it's still not affecting your life in any way. It just happened in the past. It happened. It's done. It's finished. They're not doing it anymore, hopefully.
I don't think you should encourage it, but it's not like a big deal if someone tells you about it.
It is a huge deal.
Interesting.
It's like saying you had sex with your brother.
It's like Game of Thrones.
It's like my favorite book. They all slept with their aunts. And I thought it was so goddamn artistic. I was like, damn.
Sleeping with aunts is artistic.
Sleeping with your aunt and having a baby.
It's artistic.
And having that family line end with the baby with the pigtail. Oh, yeah.
What?
It's a good book. Everybody read it. 100 Years of Solitude.
Oh.
Okay, in terms of like species-wise, that affects everybody, because you're creating more stupid people.
Yeah, but then there are like people who get like pregnant and then they test their amniotic fluid and then they discover that their kid has like Down syndrome or something. Be like, I still want the kid, or like their kid doesn't have a brain.
Because that's out of your you can't control that. But you
can control.
But you can't control incest
sex.
sex.
Oh my god.
Incest
No.
sex.
Insects.
Like if you
Sex.
already know that you're genetically predisposed to have like, you know, have like Down syndrome, or you have a recessive gene that gives you that like genetic syndrome, then your partner also does, and you make the decision to have kids. It's kind of like the same thing. You're like risking the kids thing.
So you think it's okay then for incest?
I don't think the problem is whether or not the kid would be mentally retarded, because then that's just irrelevant. If, like the problem is
the
just
act itself.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm
I think he's the
disturbed.
most concerned.
I'm so disturbed. Even the cameraman agrees with me. We're disturbed. And the whole time he's been going, get on the nope train. Nope, Bill. Nope. No, I'm sorry, but there is a relationship of trust and love between siblings or relatives
like
that you
lovers.
just do not breach. Under no circumstances do you ever even try to.
Why?
Because would you have sex with your dog?
No.
It's because it's you have
My dog can't give consent.
Oh god.
I've had sexual dreams about dogs before. It was weird.
The mic.
Oh god.
Gotta protect the mic.
Imagine you having sex with your grandpa.
No.
See?
I can't even sign up properly. This whole thing is making me so unnerved that I can't sign up properly.
This is why you shouldn't have two girls on the show.
So
I
we're
mean, like, at least two normal girls.
two normal girls who believe incest. Never mind. All right, so because you painted the picture of my 10-year-old brother in a couch with me, I just can't. So guys, if you have any comments, please visit our Facebook page, which is Following the Cast. Any comments at all?
And also-
Literally any comments at all.
Hashtag.
Or if you would like to suggest a topic for us to talk about, you can also use the same page. Follow us on Twitter, which is Following Cass. No. Yippee-ki-yay. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Thank
bye.
you for coming onto the show today.
Okay.
Interesting conversation.
All right.
Lovely time.